auto parry.
Sure men, suroe.
Gue beli Just Cause 3 terus main online yuk.
Fuck off. Harganya berapa?
Hah?
Harganya berapa?
Murah sih gue Just Cause 3.
Berapa?
Tapi tinggi berapa? Murah.
58.500.
Serius?
Ya.
Beneran.
Diskonnya 85%. Ya, tapi gue saranin beli yang XL. Abisnya di expansion pass-nya
kan gue gak gendut.
wow. Di expansion pass-nya ada yang DLC-nya yang bisa bikin Pak gliding
too slow.
Gliding suit tapi ada roketnya. Gliding suit ada roketnya gitu.
Bisa untuk kiri.
Gue udah. Oke, pay to win.
Tapi kalau misalnya online mesti pakai mod, tapi gua nggak ngerti gimana.
Oke, nggak kena. Kurang panjang job biasa ini. Pakai cancel. Oh, shit.
Ini dia.
Wow. Parah, bisa gerak.
No. Oh, 1 HP pro clutch. Oh my god.
Oh, bisa rame banget.
Round 2.
What?
Wow. Emang magician.
Oh my god.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Ah.
Wow, timing. Salah muter.
Oh, tapi dia suka nge-crash terus sih, tapi suka
Wah. Tadi bisa?
Bisa. Tadi bisa kan?
Heeh.
Kan?
Bisa pay to win skill.
Round 3.
Bentar, jangan dulu. Lagi ngirim pesan dari burung dara. Nggak jadi.
Oh my god.
Gue padahal nggak ngeblok. Gue bisa ngapain?
Kenapa nggak mau lompat game?
Gue juga nggak mau di cancel. Gue langsung mendodge. Gue bercanda. Ganti map dong.
Oke.
Oh, mau coba Dark Souls 3 sih susah apa? Easy lah.
Easy lah.
Easy. It good fight, it good.
Wow, ini juga nggak map gue.
Ya terserah lu.
Bisa multiplayer loh. Dark Souls 3.
Yang mau reply.
Ya tau-tau nge-spawn terus nge-rack lu.
Iya, makanya jangan sama orang random with friends yang bisa nanti tiba-tiba bunuh tuh. Sama aja ya. Friends.
Fight Uchiha men.
I only have one eye.
Shuroe man, Shuroe.
Lihat gua, lihat mata gua. Gua ngasih lu skill gitu. Oke. Wah itu apa? Gua lihat lu. Parah banget.
What is that?
Oh fuck, tadi meninggal.
What is that? Come on.
Itu tapi timingnya harus pas banget, susah banget.
Ya lah OP kayak gitu. Gak bisa di parry, gak bisa di cancel. Oh, what is map? What? Bye Joko.
Parah. Gak bisa di. Bahkan gue dari tadi apa itu namanya? Yang ngarah-ngarahin itu biar ngeblok gak bisa dipindahin ke kiri terus.
Round 3.
Fight Uchiha Clan man, Uchiha Clan.
Oke. Nih lihat mata gue dulu, oke. Ups. Buka biak. Wah itu, woi gue pengen lompat kiri. Oh fuck. What the fuck?
Wah, what? Oh my god, sakit banget. What is that? Explain. Come on man, explain.
Explain.
Sini. Gak pernah gue digituin.
Ya gue juga gak pernah.
Amerika Explain.
Susah lah lu dominion di gangbang mulu. Wow.
Gak bisa gerak sama sekali. Wah, di atas terus. What the fuck?
Gak bisa di parry.
Round 5.
Beneran? Emang kamu kemarin gituin?
Enggak pernah. Gua kan bisa blok.
Ini bisit nggak pernah fix. Fuck. Tuh. Wah bisa. Oh nggak bisa.
Wow, what? No.
Victory.
Parah.
Yeah, I win.
Gue kayaknya tahu deh kenapa itu.
Kenapa?
Soalnya telat gue.
Lu apa? Aduh kenapa gua keluar? Map selection.
What the hell? Kenapa ada sih yang main? Wow, ini juga nggak map gue.
Serah lu.
Map gue itu yang di jembatan.
Lu lawan Siso pakai Shinobi deh. Dia autis tuh.
Pakai shield.
Shinobi.
Ya.
Siso abis nendang di hook. Lu di hook.
Abis nendang apa?
Dia nendang lu di hook terus dijatoin.
Dijatuhin. Dibuang.
Pro. Siso pro Shinobi men.
Shinobi yang mana sih yang
Baru.
Round 1.
Season pass on.
Oh yang itu ya yang ada yang bisa muter-muter ininya ya.
Bukan.
Bisa muter.
Oh.
Wow. Ngomong pen. Oh, belok kiri, please game. What the fuck gitu. Itu nggak bisa di cancel.
Victory.
Gue gak bisa ngedodge, oke. Apaan, Jok? Dari tadi kalau dia langsung gitu juga. Blok, mau ngedodge. Apaan nih? Berangkat panjang. Enggak, tapi 2.
Kan gue kiri tuh.
Tuh gue gak pengen ngeblok, what the fuck. Itu kan gak fair.
Oh ikutan.
Victory.
Kalian lagi buy one.
Lu lihat di YouTube gua. Papa Lemao.
Apa Lemao?
Bukan aktifin naik.
Round
Joko aktifin sure.
Transportano.com. What?
Mana Jok?
Cari aja.
Oh ini dia.
Kok itu bisa kena parah banget? Kok bisa kayak gitu? Gue gak pengen gitu.
Wah. What? Itu what? Emang lu ngedodge?
Iya,
Itu kena lo.
not me.
Ngedodge kan gak kena. Itu kena. Is bullshit. That is bullshit.
Gua, gamenya dong.
Or.
Wow. Aktifin naik. Wow. Bisa ngeblok.
victory.
Itu kayak berserker yang muter-muter tuh.
Emang kayak.
Lu gak bisa ngapa-ngapain. Apalagi lu lawan highlight.
Mau lagi.
Ayo.
Oke. Apa? Map lu apa? Mana map lu?
Bagian dulu banget.
Yang mana?
Jepang.
Di Jepang, Temple Garden. Bukan ya?
Gak tahu gua lupa namanya.
Apaan sih? Apa ya?
Harus ready to play.
Lu ada kan?
Pelatih.
Plat.
Nice. Ada liket.
Bisa berempat.
Apa yang ini? What the fuck?
Bisa 2v2.
Bukan yang ini.
Ya, sama aja lah. Jepang.
Kenapa kok tim ini aja?
Jokon.
Dia kayak itu gitu tapi one.
Dia kayak top itu tapi iya sih one.
Dia kayak duel gitu.
Enggak, lu bisa nanti botnya tiba-tiba belok ke lu. Kayak orang autis. Yo Jok, gua mau incer lu.
Langsung lari ke
Botnya harus lawan Vipor kan, botnya. Terus dia lari ke gua, dia kayak sap Joko, pah.
Round 1.
Kok ada mayat?
Apanya?
Itu, tuh mayat tuh.
Wow, kenapa? Itu gua pengen ngeblok game.
Installing direct. Oh my god,
Gua legit nggak bisa ngapa-ngapain kalau gitu. Gua lawan berserker juga gitu. Spam. Kalau udah fix skakemat.
Oke, beli ini aja por. Ini enak banget gitu. Dari tadi gua belum pakai skill gua kan, cuman combo biasa. What?
Oke.
Aduh. What is that fake?
Itu lu itu bisa apa ngeblok semua arah.
Round 3.
Apaan? Bisa dari semua arah.
Itu dipencet apaan?
C.
C.
Iya.
Oke, nggak bisa. Oh, bisa. Oh, gue mau belok kiri. What the fuck?
Gak seru ah, dari tadi gua nggak ngeblok lu.
Gue dari tadi sih.
Coba sini lu nyerang gua blok.
Gak ngeblok.
Gua kasih lihat apa aja. Bisa tiga. Lu serang gua biasa. Nih. Oh my god, ribet banget nih orang.
Bentar. Tuh,
Apa
aja.
bisa 3 aja?
Loh, ini
Bisa tiga, bisa gua tonjok, gua tendang atau unparryable. Heeh.
Oh, beda yang kiri sama kanan. Oke, yang hardware broken. Yang kanan broken. Apaan?
Coba serang gua.
Serang.
Itu satu.
Wow.
Lagi.
Apaan?
Serang biasa. Gak ada damage kok ini. Aduh.
Itu gue serang biasa. Oh my god. Tuh, Jok. Itu gue serang biasa. What the fuck?
Kenapa gua gak bisa? Bentar. Kok gua sabat reaksinya?
Lu udah ngeblok. What the fuck?
Tuh kan. Parah.
Tuh itu udah ngeblok beneran. Di screen gua udah.
Coba lu charge itu.
Heavy attack.
Wow.
Satu lagi.
Oh, ini udah.
Tuh. Udah tiga,
Wow.
bisa tiga itu.
Oh, ini udah. Gak bisa.
Bisa tiga itu doang. Lu parry, gua tendang. Lu parry, gua tonjok. Lu parry.
Itu nge-parry.
Enggak ngeguard lu, gua harus ngeguard serangan lu baru bisa kayak gitu.
Nge-guard.
Tekan C nih yang kayak gini nih.
Iya.
Nih, bam,
Udah
Bam.
selesai, udah bisa main.
bam.
Apaan?
Tekan C. Cuman gua bisa.
Nggak mau ngapa-ngapain.
Nggak bisa gua doang. Sama Conqueror bisa.
Apa?
Stop please. Tuh itu bahkan di goblok. Itu kok kena?
Oh. Wah!
Wow.
No!
Multiplayer gak bisa, please wait for installation to be completed to access this menu.
Oh.
Lu berapa giga?
Baru berapa giga?
Kan gue tadi bilang kalian bisa story doang.
Baru berapa?
Coba bisa how to play.
Dia harus 44.
Wah.
Kamu
Belum.
Dari main sama Siso.
Ini bukan map juga, Jo.
Main sama Siso.
Nggak tahu. Baru
Besok aja kan. Besok kan masih ada.
yang udah hari ini download selesai juga bisa selesai tapi
Oh, sampai jam berapa?
baru 9,1 giga. Masih berapa? 2,5 jam baru selesai.
Ya udah, lu kira kita tidur 2,5 jam.
Enggak sih. Dia main baru 13 jam orangnya.
Tenang, besok gua masih libur.
13 jam. Oke, berarti dia.
Lah, bukannya Siso udah join.
Udah, belum? Oh,
Wow.
lagi tau. Tadi gua DC ya?
Aku tapi.
Kita plus 8, tapi skor mereka 39 sama 35. Why are samurai so shit?
Playtime in ping.
Biasanya samurai jago loh.
Iya, pas di beta samurai menang loh pas di
Iya, jago terus.
Terus sekarang yang menang siapa?
Night. Kita kayak the smallest faction.
Orang udah nggak whip, boy. Orang udah nggak whip.
Main samurai pada pensiun.
Udah nggak whip.
Udah capek deh. Menang terus katanya.
Ota asli.
Too easy, bud.
Lu mau pakai hero apa lagi ya? Shinobi susah gak sih?
Shinobi enggak kok. Tapi kalau lawan lu jago,
Kelihatannya susah loh, kelihatannya lu makanya kayak ribet banget, tapi enggak sih.
enggak terlalu. Kalau lawan lu pandai narik kayak deny guard break, dah susah.
Gue mau pakai itu loh. Centurion, tahu kan?
gladiator yang paling gue malesin lawannya.
Kagak buncin.
Pas game is about to start nggak bisa itu.
Centurion lu tau kan sih So yang paling annoying itu? Yang dia kayak datang-datang, lu jatuh. Ditusuk, apa-apain lah.
Lo Kor main pakai controller ya?
Iya.
Wow, just skin. We have just skin, man. Just skin.
Itu lihat deh 116 tapi gua higher than your enemies. Oke.
Gue slightly.
Gue juga higher than your enemies on par ally.
Ntar gua langsung kena berapa tap langsung mati gua lihat aja. Beneran legit. No kidding.
Ya kalau itu susah lah. Warden paling suka middle banget.
Enggak, Warden nge-spamnya annoying.
Iya.
Iya emang.
Setger, tabok, dorong, tabok, dorong.
Apalagi deket tembok.
Lama sekali dorong.
Stamina lu juga kekuras rasanya.
Iya.
Mau kemana-mana nggak bisa.
Harus lu dodge sebelum dia nge-charge.
Kalau nggak kedot juga.
Lu parry. Lu habis parry serangan pertama lu harus dodge. Langsung. Kalau nggak bisa.
You lost Zone A. You captured Zone C.
How fast that dude.
Uchiha Clan.
Help.
Lama banget.
Siapa yang jatuh?
Oh dia udah bisa itu aja, what the fuck? Dia banyak kan.
Kan dia apanya udah gede ya.
Nah gitu. Balanced game. Dia kayak gitu-gitu. Hai.
Nice.
Ini kenapa dia nggak mati coba?
Siapa yang nyalain trap tadi?
Gua. Sorry.
Kok mati?
Soalnya gua nggak mau ada orang lewat situ.
Gue lagi perang di situ terus jerot.
Keblok ya. Sorry dude.
Tadi emang gua ngetekal dulu.
Ya nggak tahu siapapun yang nyalain trap. Halo.
Coba ya
Banget.
Gebuk si So.
Itu. Oh itu bisa di cancel.
Bye, have a good time.
Nah.
Easy.
Can you guys help me, please?
Coming.
I am
I'm coming.
Wakaku gua.
Captured Zone A.
Wakaku gua.
suka Alex Legend kan bilang.
Wow.
Ada orang.
Wow. Nggak bisa dilompatin dari situ.
Hook. No, I miss.
Main Twitter aja lo.
Tabok.
Nggak bisa turun. Oke. Ya, miss.
I'm coming.
Dia lagi OTW ke A.
Ada 2 orang.
Kalau dia OTW kan.
You lost Zone A.
Ya ngapain tuh? Lu DC nggak?
Enggak.
Ya lu dit ya.
Nggak bisa join game lagi. Gue nggak bisa join game.
Lu main sendiri dulu. Oh my god.
Kok dia kayak bisa lama gitu sih?
Gua kalau main sendiri pasti dulu praktis.
Wow.
Buat level 3 susah.
I'm coming.
Ini bot.
Enggak.
Ah, robotnya mati.
Noob trap. Pussy. Help.
Gue spin juga gitu.
Wah, jatuh. Oke. Game.
Bacotin dia. Oke, dia mau jatuh.
I'm coming.
Dia pengen jatuh.
Bah. Dia belum mati. Trot. I'm coming.
Oh, you're so fast, man.
Shut up.
You capture me, so head is breaking.
I'm gonna. Tuh sana, oh. Wah. Mereka di C, dia di C. Oke, dia di sini. Dia ke A. Dia ke A, dia di bawah A. Dia sama siapa? Yang revive. What the fuck? Gede banget.
I'm coming.
Lagi. Ini gak di C.
Mana sih?
Dia paling.
Just skin. Just skin. No skin.
No skill.
Just skin. No. Nur. Oh, there he is. There he is.
You captured Zone C. Victory.
Wow. Ya, apa tuh?
I'm coming. Botnya top.
Botnya top.
Botnya top.
Botnya top.
Shuroe, man.
Mobilnya guardin.
Kalian udah selesai?
Udah.
Nice.
Kan si man.
Why? Kalian tadi menang atau kalah? Tadi kalian menang atau kalah?
Hah?
Menang atau kalah?
Menang.
Nice. Oh, masuk 7.30 wait. Lama amat. Do you like my shinobi? Very beautiful. very good-nya. Gila, 70.
Centurion.
Centurion. Vipor dari main beta sampai sekarang Orochi terus ya pernah.
Because he's pro man.
Master Tone.
Gimana lagi?
Wow. Vipor's coming.
Alex lagi. Oh iya, si Gornya bikin logo harus.
Ini nggak usah di trigger ya trapnya.
You
trigger.
captured Zone C.
Nggak, gue biasanya trapnya gue
Lost Zone A.
apain mulu.
Trigger sih, so trigger.
Oh,
Oh my god.
ada orang. Oh yang situ udah di.
Pakai bahkan nggak ngeliat gue.
No. Wah.
Cecek.
Ini bub.
Gue udah nge-close game. Yang lag. Kayaknya ya deh. Siapa yang berubah? Kagak. What the fuck? How? I'm so confused. This
I know
game
you're
is
confused,
stupid.
but-
Like me.
Ini lagger ya?
Candle.
Ini lagger. What the hell?
You lost Zone C.
Iya, dia Tiger. Legit sih, Tiger. Jauh banget dia berdirinya.
What?
What?
Wow.
Tiger udah mati langsung berdiri tiba-tiba belakang gua. Flash 2.0.
Pro move.
Help. Ya dibuat. Ignite.
Captured Zone C.
Trigger trap.
Ini ada Tiger. Wah, dia. Au. Dia nyerang gua dari mana? Gimana?
Ini juga satu iseng.
Terus ya, first game.
Kok dia what? Oh my god.
Iya. Oh nice.
Bahkan dia udah gue downin. Tuh dia teleport mucu.
Oh iya tuh. Ih, gue nggak bisa attack dia sama sekali. Oh my god.
Pro move.
Sumpah, itu nggak bisa diapa-apain.
Emang. Bahkan dia udah stamina udah habis kan gue dorong. Dia langsung tiba-tiba
Wah, guard break dia langsung. Wah, I'm in front of you.
dia bahkan cepet banget dung.
Lightning attack.
You captured Zone
Ntar
A.
tiba-tiba depan gue nih. Bahkan kalau dia attack nggak ada lordnya. Bukan?
Langsung nyampe aja.
Iya langsung nyampe. Gak ada lordnya. Tiba-tiba mati gue.
Ada orang mau kecek.
You lost Zone A.
What is that?
Ini sebegitu.
Oh nice.
Tiba-tiba gue mati. Gila, so pro.
Super nih. Lightning attack. Jadi PS. Sosial.
Itu power baru dewa Orochi per itu.
Attack dia sama sekali.
Wow. Ya tiba-tiba.
Nyawanya naik turun.
Belum mati.
Oh,
What the fuck?
belum mati juga.
What revenge? What? You udah mati.
Dia tadi gue udah bisa execute.
Udah mati, 0 HP langsung. Ini nih, gua ke episode 110. Makan spirit bomb dia. What the fuck, keren banget.
Pro move.
Robot. Wow, botnya itu udah
Ketularan hack.
Oh shit.
Oh wow.
Oh my god, gitu langsung. Udah gue mati gitu dia. Gue juga tiba-tiba nge-lag kalau deket dia.
Jangan deket-deket, enfas.
Kayak gue kayak sampai dari tadi.
Di game ini doang loh FPS gue drop berat.
Iya. Sama. Gue kayak drop berat banget.
Kita bahkan kalah loh pokoknya. Gara-gara 2 orang itu doang.
Wah, flagger. Serem ya. Lu gak bisa ngapain.
I know, right. Wow, terus dia langsung. Ini buat gue terlalu jago.
Heavy attack.
Dia udah mati. Oke, dia mati.
Tiba-tiba FPS gua naik.
Ya kalau
Iya pak, pas dia mati FPS gua normal.
iya gue juga.
Iya bener.
You captured Zone
Wah,
C.
Langsung naik lagi.
Your team is breaking.
Udah kalah aja lah, udah sebanget.
Tuh dia hidup langsung.
Dia nyetok fragger lagi.
You lost Zone C.
Oh, tembus tembok. GG banget orang. Masuk stream guys, huh?
Zero star.
Oh, gua tahu itu dia musuhnya The Flash itu tuh yang dibikin default, tahu nggak? Kalian nggak lihat ya? Ya,
Nggak nonton.
kalian harusnya nonton.
Wow.
Default. Dia bikin samurai.
Report.
Dia lawan samurai. Dia bikin samurai buat lawan The Flash. Terus samurai bisa terbang, bisa copot, impact. Bener, kayak tadi. Dia tiba-tiba belakang.
Udah lama apa coba?
It makes you sharpy.
Well to join session, what?
Ada orang tadi perutnya.
Assassin ya?
Fits bisa dibeli.
Apaan?
Harusnya tadi kita add dia sih, biar di carry.
Iya ya. Biasanya orang kalau nge-lag kalah mati. Ini dia nge-lag, kita yang kalah.
Kita yang kalah ya.
Unbalance banget.
Tadi nge-lagnya tuh pasti Itu gue baru ketemu kayak gitu. Kan dia nge-lag. Lag kan kita nyerang apa? Kena dia tapi keblok gitu kan.
Serangannya benar-benar The Flash.
Like itu curi
Udah habis ya penuh lagi. Ya udah habis kan udah mati dia.
Tadi kan dia ikut tim Uchiha sih.
Oh my god.
Man. Game so funny.
Ada orang Republic of
China.
China. On par. Kok kombonya jahat banget ya? Wah, FPS gua udah jelek banget.
Normal, langsung normal.
Normal.
Kenapa map ini mulu dari tadi? What the hell?
Nggak tadi.
Beda time, beda orang. Ow!
You captured Zone C. You lost Zone A.
Face, dude, face, stop. So slow.
Oh my god.
Orang Cina jahat kok.
Originnya jahat.
Orang Cina jahat ya. Yang cowok.
Nggak bisa di cancel.
What?
You lost Zone C.
Mati. Dia nge-spawn.
Ayo lu. Oh,
Kok dia
You captured
cuma
Zone
segitu
C.
doang sih? Gila dia masih what the fuck Roji.
ya kan? Tinggi kan?
Wow, dia pasti tuh pay to win.
Oh my god.
Wow, gembleng. Abis ini terima coba dong.
Apa?
Kalau lawan yang gitu-gitu biar bisa di counter.
Habis ini apa?
Tapi kalau yang level menang ya nanti.
Iya.
Sini, boom.
GG lah.
Salah.
What is that?
Orang Cina kecil.
Kata kecil. No.
What? Gua udah. Wah?
Double kill gua.
Gua udah parry.
What the fuck out? Itu what? Bisa cepat.
Lost Zone C.
Halo. Itu punya kita juga sendernya. Apa ini?
Hah?
Ini berarti nggak map kita.
Gua aja. Oh my god.
Coba ngebayangin enter dia.
Wah. Oke.
Kok nggak kena damage?
Oke, what is that?
Itu revive. Baik sushi.
Wow. Apple
You
disu nih.
captured Zone C.
Wow.
Idi Centurion.
Aduh. Itu what the fuck banget. What the fuck is that shit, yeah. Oke.
Oh. My life.
Pambil Allah. Udah apa?
Holy shit.
You captured Zone A. You lost Zone A.
Hello. Cannot use this anymore.
Lost Zone C. You captured Zone A.
Itu bisa di cancel, oke.
You lost Zone A. Your team is breaking.
Mati. Help.
You your team Zone C. Your team is breaking.
Kenapa langsung respawn sih, stupid. GG. Kok gua mati? Gua parry tadi. Oke. Dia finish.
Itu kenapa dia gak kenapa? What the fuck? Oke, defense juga nggak ngaruh, belum beri cancel lagi.
Kok dia takut? Lanjutlah. Ya, smart people with smart.
Smart ass. Mau coba.
Centernya loh, anjir.
We need liket dulu.
Ya apa?
Ganti itu apa ribut.
Why man?
Keren.
Lama banget.
Oh, saluran depan.
Oh, map lama.
Oke.
So balanced man. On par my ass.
It's so fair, man.
Ada Centurion lagi, gue males banget. Dan itu Thailand.
Enak.
Thailand.
Terus ini Centurion lagi.
Jahat Iron. Hujan lagi.
Oh, hujannya WTF.
Iya.
Oh my god, putih.
Gak bisa ngeliat. Let's see.
Begin.
Oh udah. Oh ini main tribut.
Ya,
Kita ngapain?
Ambil flag mereka.
Oh, ini musuh.
Don McGlass. Don McGlass.
what the fuck is that shit, game? Oke. Yap, dia Liger.
Ay.
Terus itunya tinggi. Aduh, apa sih?
Blessings gain. Oh yes.
Enemy team gain the blessing.
I am blessed. What is
Emang
this?
kita musuh ini dapat.
Wah. Cuk. Wah. Cuk.
The other team have 2
You
offerings.
are behind. Ini gue nggak ngerti mainnya gimana.
What?
Oh my god, itu cepet banget. Oh, itu cepet banget. What the fuck? Tuh, oh my god, ini lagernya gigi banget. Itu kayak gitu. What is that? What the fuck? Gila. Oh my god, cepet banget.
Help me, somebody.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Gak ada yang mau bantu gue.
Dia juga Liger. Liger. Mau gua lawan Liger.
Lagernya ada 3.
What?
Kuning tadi.
Nah, tadi
What? Jayus.
Yang itu main nge-lag ini jauh banget. Tuh cepet banget. Wuyuh. Dan bahkan pro player kayak gak ada yang bisa tuh reaksi kayak gitu. Harus ada hack.
Waalaikumsalam, Maman sudah pulang.
Don McGlass.
Enak mantep kan?
Don McGlass.
Help me please cover me, I'm top
Don
red.
McGlass.
Ini berat banget men. Ini kayak gitu.
Don McGlass.
Banget man.
Bathe in blood
Ini
and
kita
Midian.
juga dicuri.
Biarin aja.
Kalau nggak deh, parah nih terus.
Edut. Ngomong.
Disuruh ngapain? Blessing gained.
Kita ini ngambil bendera.
You have 2 offerings.
I have wall hacks.
Tangan kan. Baru ya dikasih tahu kok.
Idih. Ponjokannya loh.
Kenceng banget.
Wow, itu yang lager itu pokoknya kalau nyerang juga.
Udah tekener. Hah?
10 detik.
Mau potong rambut? Kenapa nggak botak?
Botak lah. Bisa nggak botak?
Kok nggak botak nih?
Oh udah panjang, tapi masih bisa nih mas. Belum bisa dijam. Kalau koko dulu kan potong rambut paling segini terus orang gitu. Kalau Abri,
Wow, man.
rambut baru juga naik.
Don McGlass!
Oh,
Ah,
iya bener.
Don McGlass! Bathe in blast video!
Iya teh. What the fuck is this shit? Itu gua cancel itu tadi game. What the fuck game?
ada yang keluh.
Help. Wow.
What is that? What? I cannot play this game anymore.
Ini gua dong. Oke, nggak bisa, lama banget. GG. Baru gue pencet, nggak mau. Nice game. Baby shit.
Kalian kok pada mati semua?
Didorong.
Dia sama baby shit.
Iya mah, nanti koko turun.
Wow, keren banget. Wow. Holy shit. Oh my god. Keren banget.
Offering. Given it loss.
Attack the enemy shrines.
Wah, gue tuh sambil download lah biar mereka tahu tuh. Baru gua pedang.
Musuhnya serem banget. Wih, belakang.
Don McGlass!
Woo!
A free offering defeat.
Stupid game.
Good game man, good game. I like good game. Aduh.
Masih mau tribut. Nope, not playing this game anymore. Play normal game.
Halo. Hello. Okay, it's a fair match again, man.
Iya fair ya.
Ge. Baru main.
Red Strike, wow, beneran bukan. Mereka ada
Woo.
nice game. I like this game.
Fair fight.
Fair fight.
Apa yang nggak suka nih game?
Siapa yang di apa? Gak
Gue
rekomen?
doang yang DC.
Enggak semuanya.
Oke, never mind. I like this game, I like this game. Wow. Omnya lagi. Gigi.
Serius lagi.
I'm so fat, man. Oh my god.
You lost Zone C. You captured Zone A. Done, McGlass!
What the fuck is that? Of course, dia nyerang doang bisa. Oh, nice like man.
Didorong.
Gue kayaknya nggak pernah nyerang orang terus jatuh.
You lost Zone A.
Gangbang, come on.
Gangbang.
captured Zone A.
What? How? What? Ah!
Don Maglas! Bathe in glass and in the air!
Please explain what is that?
Oke, game.
Hah?
You lost Zone A.
Oke.
What? Dia kena, gua enggak. Oke, game. Oke.
Gitu lah.
Is breaking.
Oke. Lo kayaknya di bawah jembatan pas.
Apa sih noticeable?
Alright.
Mau lagi apa ganti orang? Itu.
Jangan Dominion pas.
Ya, itu tribut juga nggak jelas.
Ya jangan ribut juga.
Terus mau main apa bertiga?
Serius mau lawan mereka lagi.
Wow. Jok.
Oh serius Jok?
Apaan?
Lawan mereka lagi.
Wow.
Why not?
susah banget.
Tuh mereka bisa kayak text switch gitu langsung. Wow, dia langsung pakai yang gila. So fair. 180.
Pakai yang annoying semua.
Palingan gue cuma di dewaten dua lo. Ya.
Jok nggak pakai siapa tuh yang two wheel. Ini juga.
What is that?
Mencap bulan.
Nanti pekan baru seru. Main apa? Kenapa? Main Amazon seru. Main apa mau ditambah?
Bukan Amazon.
Amazon. Mana? Oh Amazon di SKA ya. Main apa anjing? Mandi bola. Iya mandi bola. Sama Carrot.
Satoshi Nakamoto is the creator of Bitcoin. Who is behind this
Yang main sama
mysterious
Carrot tuh
figure?
kemana?
Are these cryptography experts from
Main
NSA?
apa? Trampolin ya?
Or is
Di atas
Satoshi
ya.
Chinese and wants to get rid of the dollar? One thing is clear.
Seru kan?
What
Main
we
trampolin.
see right
Lompat-lompat.
now is a well-orchestrated campaign of manipulating Bitcoin's rate. Stocks, mining pools, crypto
Yang
whales,
ini orang
media.
koko.
They are just puppets in the master's hands.
Boycott.
How does he manage to coordinate such on a global scale? Every channel can be hacked. If you want to hide something, put it in plain view. Porn sites became such a place where Pornhub and YouPorn, messages worth billions of dollars are delivered.
Banyak.
September 2017. That main page of YouPorn was full of videos from Asia. Pornhub's top 5 most rated videos were about sex and money. You lost Zone C. You captured Zone A.
Ah, nggak dapat.
What is that?
Fuck jauh banget.
Makanya gua kaget.
Ninja tuh.
Oke. Oke, shit.
Zone A.
Oh no, ini yang udah level.
Nama kamu Joshua.
Ditonjok kayak gitu ah.
Ya kok dia gampang banget kan?
Lawan disuruh kok susah ya.
Help. Dia tuh bisa pakai nitro di pas lagi lompat auto cepet gitu kan.
Kencang banget. Ya, udah nyabut.
Oh my god,
Oh.
ini epic.
Oke. Oke.
Ini pasukan kosong ini.
Ada pokok. Kita ambil. Mereka
You captured Zone C.
Tuh dia takut terus loh. Kan dia
Autis.
oke. I'm over the page, man.
Ini seram ya Mon. Mon, gatal. Wah, ada temennya. Wah, waduh.
You
Oh, no.
captured Zone A.
Mereka ngomong terus.
Aduh.
You lost Zone C.
Mereka mainnya koyokan Mon. Gak mau satu-satu. Rame-rame langsung 3 tuh. Koyokan gak seru kan? Gak aneh. Temen papa jadi koyokin nomor 3.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Sakit amat itu.
Banyak kali.
You lost
Tenaga
Zone
kita
A.
habis.
Your team is breaking.
Lalu coba buang aja.
Your team rallied.
Ninja.
You captured Zone A.
Help me. Itu masih now what the fuck. Aduh. Gila.
Lebih panjang range aku lebih bagus. Oh my god. Musuhnya.
Putih ada 3 tuh Mon. Ada 4. Serem Mon.
Oh my
Gak
god.
bisa ini.
Oh, 1000. Sampai hari berapa tuh?
Maaf ya Mon.
Get away.
What is that? Oh my god.
Wih nggak bisa move.
Apa?
Wih.
Berapa? Oke, timingnya kayak gini.
Dari belakang pas.
Aduh, kayaknya gue duluan loh.
Wow, Siso skornya gede amat.
Mon gambar aja. Gambar orang. Gambar mata. Mata kartun atau gimana?
Apa?
Mata kartun atau gimana?
Mata kartun aja.
Fuck this. Oh lu udah Anpor? Wow.
Kita dapat fair match terus.
Gini. Duduknya sini. Udah ngintip.
Ngintip Sonic.
Ini pura-pura pintu ya Mama. Ica pintu. Emang pintu lah. Ada dinding aja lah ya. Di dinding. Jangan sih. Kiam aja. Belum jadi. Udah ke tangan belum? Belum, oh my god.
Belum bagi momen.
Kayaknya emang salah dan Mas Gampang. Coba dulu. temenan aja. Terus sampai
Oh my god!
You lost Zone A. You captured Zone C. Don McGlass!
What is that?
You lost Zone C.
Ikut. Oh my god! Ada 3. Oh my god!
GG lah.
Pikir rambutnya kayak
salah satu share.
Sisa gua itu ke bawah dulu.
Kitanya marah tapi sedih sekali. Dia mati. Mana ini? Oh, Serem juga dia. Gila jatuh teman.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Tapi nggak ada.
Ini kayak tangan robot. Loki. Loki.
Gede banget. Di mana tuh? Itu kayak nggak kecil. Semuanya langsung kita gambar.
Ada 4.
Apa? Ini.
Bukan.
Ini.
Bukan.
Mana?
Di sini. Aduh.
Wah.
Geliat. Oh my god.
Wah.
Yo.
Hey, listen. Hey! Hey, I don't have to explain myself to you. Is your son a terrorist?
Yeah, my son's a terrorist.
He's just as likely to be a terrorist as my brother. Let's not forget you all this.
Tuh.
What's your day job?
Kalau ketuh. Waduh.
What does a paralegal do?
Same thing as the guys with the names.
Wah.
Except I took $11 an hour so they can build
Kia.
it.
Ketusah.
Oh my god.
Sia. Oh no. Beban. Yeah.
Ada 2.
Buah. Sia. Buah. Aduh, habis. Oh no. Tidak.
Kalau gendut. Fatty.
Cabai.
Dia ambil chair.
Ayo. Rokok pedangnya ada di sini.
Ada teman.
Itu teman kita. Ganggu sih. Ya. Tampar.
Kecil. Oh. No. Did you get that? Lost. Tidak cek.
Hey, kawan aku. Sini. Dua. Teman tuh jangan dekat teman.
Jangan makan. Tuh. Oh tidak, yang gendut lagi.
Kita habis tenaga lagi.
Kenapa bisa habis tenaga di gini?
Capek.
Capek.
Tenang. Dua. Pak. Aduh, tarik. Naik.
Odin XXL.
Wah.
Oh.
Ini satu orang aja. Kamu dibuat.
Ini ngeri jadi tiba lucu. Oh. Ini kayak ada tim gendut ya. Eco. Mantap jaketnya bro. You gendut. Tadi lucu kali ya. Temen.
Sliding.
Itu sudah lihat. Oke, yang masih itu.
Mana? Oh ini dia. Oh, sekali.
Aduh, itu front flip. Nebeh. Halo Blit. Victory. Match. Load. Air tahun berair karena lucu banget. Jangan itu lagi.
Kita enggak. Ini orang.
Jangan aku. Jangan.
Dia jatuh. Aduh. Oh iya. Wah.
Oh. Oh my god. Kenapa ini kayak lava? Ini komputer lain.
Hah? Codi siapa ya, Codi? Lu?
Hey you, yeah, you.
Bro. Oh tidak.
Siap. Wah. Siap. Wah.
First blood.
Wah. Cian. Sliding.
Sliding.
Sliding. Jadi gue
Team double kill.
gas. So I'm gonna go put some fuel in it. But that isn't as easy as it sounds.
Oh.
Here's why.
Nice car. Thank mileage to get on this thing. Yeah, nice car you got there.
Thank you.
How many miles do you get on this thing?
Not very good.
That's a big hunter, man.
Yeah.
My uncle, man, he's got this 85 Camaro.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's got about 300 horse, got these new rims. He has one of those things up front, you know, you have the engines running around the top, it was real badass.
Cruise,
the way up to 100 miles per gallon.
How much power does it have?
400.
Really? Oh, 416.
You know, I just took a road trip, averaged 47 miles per gallon.
Wow, yeah. Oh, awesome. This is a 458?
No, this is a 360. It's a little older than
It's
the
got the
458.
dual clutches and all the...
No, just it's a true manual, 6-speed manual.
I have never spent 30 hours.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Those are really cool. I really like those. It's a good car. Blue's the right color too, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's probably a little faster than the Ferrari.
Yeah, it is a Ferrari. Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun, definitely.
Dude, there's leather everywhere on the inside. There's leather on the fucking freaking shift handle.
It's a little more fun.
What's more fun than having more money in your pocket?
You know what it's like.
Right.
You're good selling for, right?
Right, absolutely.
Good selling for.
So why didn't you get the Lambo?
Well, you know, I thought about the Lambo, but it's a little more expensive, and I don't know, I really wanted a Ferrari.
Don't you feel like you get some more poontang with the Lambo?
I get to keep one money in my pocket and food with that car.
That is true. That is true. And so you
I still have twice as much and still the same money.
well,
If you've recently looked for a Ferrari F430, you know that they're starting to get into a reasonable price range, somewhere around $100,000, which isn't so bad for a car like this. Except this one. This is a Ferrari 430 Scuderia, and the average price right now on AutoTrader for one of these is $260,000, 2.5 times the regular F430. Today, I'm going to show you why this is. I've borrowed this 430 Scuderia from Platinum Motor Cars in suburban Detroit, which has an almost unbelievable and varied inventory of cool stuff, some of which you'll see in more of my videos over the next few weeks. They're offering this 430 Scuderia for just under $240,000, which is a huge premium over a regular F430. The most obvious reason for the premium is under the hood. The Scuderia is the high-performance version of the 430, so Ferrari added 20 more horsepower to the regular F430 for a total of 503 horses. The transmission is also faster. The 430 Scuderia has the last version of Ferrari's F1 sequential manual before they went to dual clutch, and it changes gears more than twice as fast as a regular F430. Of course, the Scuderia is also rarer than the regular F430, with somewhere around 1,500 made for the entire world. But in addition to all that, to create the 430 Scuderia, Ferrari has also trimmed off 220 pounds. That's right, 220 pounds, which may not sound like all that much, but you gotta remember, it's not like the regular 430 is filled with leather and rear DVD screens and a panoramic sunroof they can just remove to save weight. Taking 220 pounds out of an already light and powerful sports car is pretty impressive. So today I'm going to show you all of the interesting and weird and cool ways that the 430 Scuderia saves weight over a regular 430. Then I'm going to show you all of its interesting quirks and features as usual. And then I'm going to take it out on the road and see if it can justify its price, 2.5 times a regular F430. Of course, for more, click the link below to visit autotrader.com/overseer, where I've written a column about my 430 Scuderia experience, and I've compiled a list of the most expensive Ferrari models currently for sale on AutoTrader. I'm going to start with the weight-saving stuff, and specifically the door panels. Now, in a normal F430, you get these beautiful leather door panels that just look like an excellent thing to stare at and touch. In this thing, you get a door panel. It has exposed screws. It's carbon fiber. You get a net. And that's it. Another weight-saving measure you realize as soon as you climb inside the 430 Scuderia is that this is a $250,000 car with manual seats, and it has exposed seat rails. In the regular F430, those are covered up with acres of leather and carpeting. So you're thinking, well, of course it has manual seats. They're trying to save weight. But this car also has power windows, power mirrors, power locks, and air conditioning with automatic climate control. I really wonder who the guy is at Ferrari who's like, yeah, we can do air conditioning with auto climate, but power seats, no, that's too heavy. Continuing that thought, this car has all of those automatic and power things, and yet it has no radio. In its place, there's just the Ferrari logo and Alcantara. It looks very nice, but you can't listen to music in this thing. It's so weird. Ferrari's like, yeah, we want them to be able to adjust their mirrors automatically, but we don't want them to be able to listen to music. Now, there's no glove box in this car, also a weight-saving measure. You want somewhere to store your registration, insurance, vehicle paperwork? Well, you get a net. You want more storage space? You get another net. That's it. One of my favorite weight savings measures in this car is the fact that there is no leather anywhere. I'm not exaggerating. There is no leather anywhere. The dashboard is completely Alcantara with some carbon fiber, but the crazy thing is the seats, they're not leather, they are this mesh kind of composite thing, goes up both of the seats. The headliner in Ferraris, typically all leather and very beautiful, is the same mesh. I don't know how much weight that saves, but I do know that that gets rid of the, oh, I want leather air vent slats and leather on every surface crowd. And that's probably a good thing. But of all the weight-saving stuff, I think the most noticeable and possibly the most aggressive are the floors. Now, the regular 430 has carpeting. All regular cars have carpeting. This thing in front of the seats has just sort of Ferrari's version of diamond plating. Under the seats, they didn't even bother with that. It's just floor with no covering over it. Another obvious weight savings tactic is carbon fiber. Now obviously a lot of cars use carbon fiber, and this one has it in all the places you'd expect. It has the door panels and the rear grille, and it has carbon on the dashboard and in the gauge cluster, and there's a carbon center tunnel. All that stuff is pretty common, but this car has carbon fiber in some especially unusual places too. For example, the exterior door handle is carbon fiber. How much weight could that really save? Same goes with the seat adjustment knob. Yeah, the regular seat back is carbon fiber, but so is a little circle thing you turn to adjust it. There's no way that saves more than 1/4 of an ounce. Also carbon fiber is the mirror housing. And that's not that unusual, but I mentioned it last because that's one of the 3 ways that you can really tell a 430 Scuderia from a regular F430, in case you see one at Cars and Coffee trying to pretend to be a Scuderia. Number 1 is the mirrors. The regular F430 has body-colored mirrors, and the Scuderia, they're always this black carbon. Another one is the front bumper. The 430 Scuderia has a more aggressive front bumper with larger intakes. Take a look at the regular F430 bumper and the 430 Scuderia bumper. Finally, you have the wheels. These wheels were specific to the 430 Scuderia, and they weren't offered on the F430. Of course, if all else fails, there's always the badge in back. And let's discuss that badge for a minute, because I happen to think that's one of the strangest quirks on the entire 430 Scuderia. Note that I just said 430 Scuderia, and the badge says 430 Scuderia, no F. You see, the regular F430 is called the F430 with the F, and all of its badges and emblems in literature say F430. But this car is just the 430 Scuderia. All its badges and emblems in literature say 430, no F anywhere to be found. Why did they do that? Because that's the kind of randomness you can really only get with Ferrari. But that's just one of the 430 Scuderia's quirks, and of course, there are many others. Since we're around back, another one of my favorites is back here under the hood. There's a little warning label that cautions you not to place your hand there because it's hot. But take a closer look at that warning label. Does it not look like the middle finger in the hand is extended? Like it's flipping you off? Look at that. Am I wrong? Now moving around to the other side of the car, another quirk comes when you open the trunk. To do it, first you flip a little switch inside the car, and that unlatches the trunk. Unfortunately, it doesn't open. It's kind of annoying. You have to walk around to the front of the trunk and still unlatch it. Now, a lot of cars have this, and it's always annoying to reach your hand under there and try to figure out exactly where the latch is, especially on a hot day like this when the car is really hot. The 430 is the only car I've ever seen that has a helpful little guide that shows you exactly where the latch is. So you pull it, and then you're in the trunk. That's smart. Ferrari's practical sometimes. Another one of my favorite quirks occurs when you get inside the trunk and you take a look at this Ferrari zipper pouch, secured to the trunk with leather straps, the only leather in the entire car. Now you open it up and you discover this isn't just any Ferrari pouch, this is specific to the 430 Scuderia. It has a little flap that says 430 Scuderia, not F430, no, just the Scuderia. Now, you open it up and there are some tools, pliers, and a screwdriver, but take a closer look. This isn't any pliers and a screwdriver. These are pliers and a screwdriver with the Ferrari logo on them. That means this Ferrari-specific pliers and Ferrari-specific screwdriver is probably like $500 each, and this pouch is probably like $1,000. Moving on to the interior, you'll find a few other 430 Scuderia quirks, including the fire extinguisher. Yes, that's right, there is a fire extinguisher in these things, and it's mounted on the floor with these rather difficult to operate straps in a very tight case. I think it would take you about 3 minutes to get this thing out of there while your car slowly burns to the ground. Two other interesting 430 Scuderia quirks are on the steering wheel. Now, one is about the drive mode selector switch. The regular 430 has an ice mode. Nobody's ever going to use this car in ice, but nobody's especially going to use a Scuderia in ice, so they got rid of that. And instead, there's just an extra track mode that allows you to run with the traction control off and the stability control on. Also cool, the shift lights on the top of the steering wheel. Everybody's doing this now. They're in every car, usually in the gauge cluster, but Ferrari came out with this first, and I remember how cool it was back in 2008 when this thing had that. Everybody else was worried about the recession, and Ferrari was like, hey, check out these cool shift lights we got. Another weird quirk about this car, despite the fact that this is a sports car from the notoriously sporty Ferrari brand, and this is the special ultra sports car version of the regular 430 sports car, there's still a sport mode. So if you want to ride around in comfort mode or sport mode, you can choose. I think this whole car should be a sports mode personally, but Ferrari's Ferrari. And finally, this car has this really cool engine start button on the steering that looks like you're about to launch some crazy futuristic race car. And that seems really neat, except for the fact that you can't just get in and push engine start. You have to turn the key first, like in a normal car, and then push engine start, which kind of takes some of the excitement away from the whole thing. And speaking of turning the key, one of my all-time favorite 430 features, when you pull the key out, it gives you a big long ding so you don't forget it. It doesn't actually know whether the key is inside the car or outside the car. It's just sort of telling you, hey, it could be inside. One more thing I forgot to mention is the horn in this car. The regular 430 has a normal horn. This thing, maybe it's a weight-saving horn? So the 430 Scuderia has some interesting quirks and features, and it also has some radical weight-saving measures, but none of that stuff justifies why these things are worth $260,000 when a regular 430 is worth around $100,000. So for more on that, I have to get behind the wheel. The first thing you notice climbing this car is just the bare bones nature of the whole thing and the interior. You kind of hear all the stuff and you feel all the stuff and you get a little nervous about bumps. The paddles stay put when you turn the wheel, which is how it should be. The transmission shifting is tremendously quick for a old style F1 single clutch transmission. It's not up to the par of modern dual clutches. However, it's probably the quickest single clutch F1 style transmission I've ever driven. The ride is rough and this car is pretty harsh. But that's kind of the intent. If you're gonna complain about that stuff, you should have bought a regular 430. The whole point of this car is the ride is rough and it's pretty hard. Now, sitting at a stoplight in a lot of modern exotic cars, you sit and it's just kind of quiet and the air conditioning blows on you and it's just fine. In this, you hear that engine, you feel some rumble. You know you're in something a little bit different than just a regular exotic car. Wow. Wow, that is fast. And I'll tell you something, the transmission becomes a lot quicker under full throttle. It's almost amazing how fast that last upshift was at 6,000 RPM. That is really impressive for an F1 style single clutch transmission. I know it's a lot quicker than 430. I can't believe it's that quick. The handling is amazing. It's actually interesting because this car is 10 years old and most 10-year-old exotics I drive, you can tell they're from a previous generation. This one is tremendously precise. The steering is clearly really linked up to the wheels. It feels like it is ready to go in any direction you want to point it. The speed comes on at a massive, massive pace. It's very fast. It is not as fast as Huracan 488, the most recent crop of stuff. It just isn't that fast. However, the noise is amazing. Those cars are also insulated. Oh, listen to that roar. Oh my God. Oh, here we go. Here's a nice corner. Oh, wow. It is tremendously flat. I'm honestly surprised, truly, that I'm driving a 10-year-old car. The handling is a little not quite there, but barely. I mean, this thing is still at the absolute forefront of car performance and sound and the visceral thrill of this car. I think I've gotten too soft. I think I've driven too many exotic cars that were just too easy to drive. And I kind of forgot, this is what's fun. This is where you have the most exciting experience. This is the greatest. This is so much fun. This is one of the most exciting cars I've driven. Wow. It just glued to the road. This car is absolutely glued to the road. The absolute precision of the steering is not quite there compared to the latest cars, there's no doubt. You have to do a little bit more steering work, and the turn-in is a little bit off, but only a little bit. And considering this car is 10 years older than the newest stuff, it's amazing. Wow. so close to the ground, and it's just such a thrill. I honestly kind of thought this car would be uncomfortable and annoying to me, but it's actually so much fun to drive that I don't even think about any of that stuff. Now, with that said, part of the reason it's fun to drive is because we're doing back roads and we found some good open spots and all that. I can tell this isn't a car that I would want to take to the grocery store. Anybody who laments that Ferrari is now building luxury cars for the Kardashians, they should drive something like this. This is the old school Ferrari. This is the way that Ferraris were always in the past. And so that's the Ferrari 430 Scuderia. What an amazing drive that was. It may look like a regular F430, but it isn't. Is it worth $260,000, 2.5 times the price of a regular F430? Well, it has all the cool weight savings, and it has the cool quirks that the regular one doesn't have, and it has a much more impressive driving experience, along with more power. Objectively, it probably isn't, but you have to remember, this is Ferrari, and ultra-low production, high-performance, special exclusive models like this one bring a premium for being the best of the breed. So not only do you have the cool weight savings and all the Ferrari quirks and the amazing styling and the extra performance and power over a normal 430, you also have the exclusivity. This is a Ferrari that's even more special than a regular Ferrari. Add all that up, and yes, you are looking at a $260,000 car. And with that, it's time for the Doug score. I'll start with the weekend. Ever since the California came out in 2009, the complaints have been endless. It's not a real Ferrari. It's a lesser Ferrari. It's not a track-focused car like the mid-engine Ferrari models. It doesn't deserve to be a Ferrari. Well, all those complaints are completely wrong. The California is an excellent car. And I've borrowed this brand new California T from a viewer in New Jersey to prove it to you. I'll start with performance. This car can hit 196 miles an hour. It has 550 horsepower, and it'll do 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds. If that doesn't sound like real Ferrari territory, you're crazy. More importantly, it has a lot of cool new features and interesting Italian car quirks, just like a real Ferrari. For example, you probably think that the brake lights are these things. That would make a lot of sense, but in fact, the brake lights are down here. That might seem a little strange, but here's what happened. Ferrari got pretty far designing the original California, and these were going to be the brake lights. But then they realized that there's a government regulation saying that brake lights can't be on a piece of bodywork that moves, and this is the trunk and also the convertible top holder. So Ferrari had to scramble at the last minute to change the brake lights from here to down here. As a result, these things aren't the brake lights, they're here. That's weird. One of the California's main benefits is that it's a convertible, and the top opens in a rather bizarre and unusual fashion. Push a little switch inside the car and, well, take a look. First, the rear window lifts above the top. Then the trunk opens backwards. Then the rear window climbs on top of the top like it's going to begin a weird convertible mating ritual. Then they both go back together underneath the trunk lid, which then closes.
Now, with the top down, the California also reveals another one of its interesting features, the fact that it has back seats, unlike most Ferrari models. Although they are literally the smallest back seats I could ever possibly imagine. They have to be the tiniest in the entire car industry. It's so small that the seat belts, front and rear, they're only like separated by like 8 inches. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. No sane person would ever attempt to get into these back seats. So naturally, I'm going to give it a try.
Okay. Well, this looks nice.
Now in back, the trunk of the California T is surprisingly large. And if you want even more trunk space, you can move up this little divider and it gives you all this room. But it's worth noting with the divider up, the top won't go down. If you want the top to go down, you gotta put the divider back down, and then the top rests on top of this, leaving you this much room, still pretty ample for you to put all of your groceries.
Another odd quirk, the script that says California is displayed in several places, including the floor mats, the glove box, and the gauge cluster screen. It's also the exact same script they use on the California license plate.
Now, one of the first things you'll notice as soon as you get inside this car is that there's no transmission selector in the middle like there is in most cars. This car has a dual clutch automatic transmission, but getting it into gear is a little bit strange. To get it into drive, there's no D button, you don't put it in D, instead you just pull the right paddle and that puts it in drive. In order to put it in reverse, you don't pull the left paddle, instead there's a little R button in the middle. Press that and you're in reverse. But the strangest one is park. There is no park gear in this car. Instead, you pull both paddles at the same time, that puts you in neutral. Then you put on the parking brake, which is located under the steering wheel, and then you turn the car off. Only when you turn it off does it actually go into park. The best you can do yourself is putting it in neutral. It's like a manual car in that respect. It's a little bit strange, but my favorite feature of the California T has to be the little electronic display thing in the center. Now, in the middle of the car, it looks like there are 3 climate control vents, but actually there are 2. The middle one isn't a vent. It's actually a little electronic display screen that shows all sorts of cool car information. My favorite part about it, however, is how you change the information. Just tap it, and it shows the next thing. Tap it, you get the next piece of information. Tap it, tap it.
The California T's other quirks are largely the same as what you saw in my 488 Spider video, which is linked below. For example, use the pit speed button to set a maximum speed in pit lane when you're on a racetrack. The heated seat controls aren't located anywhere rational in the interior, but rather on the side where you can't possibly see them. Same goes for the lock and unlock button, which isn't located anywhere rational either, but rather on the ceiling, even though you'll use it all the time next to the tow button, which you'll never use. You'll also find that the steering wheel is loaded with buttons including the engine starter, the suspension settings, the high beams, the little switch that controls your mode, note the Italian flag colored background, the windshield wipers, and even the turn signals. The steering wheel also includes the little lights up at the top that light up when you're nearing red line. So the California T has some Italian car quirks, but it also boasts a really nice look. It's dramatically more attractive than its rather awkward predecessor, with most lines smoothed out and modernized to give it the appearance it should have had from the very beginning.
So this car has a lot of power, it has attractive looks, it has all the cool features and unique quirks that you associate with Ferrari. More importantly, the California T drives like a real Ferrari, as I'm now going to demonstrate. Of course, to find out more of what I think about this car and for more of my thoughts on the driving experience, click the link below for my column on Auto Trader Oversteer.
Alright, we're taking the California T out. This is Jake. Jake's family owns this car.
Hey guys.
Oh, look at that. I got a back end camera. Nice Chrysler infotainment.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you're a good driver.
Oh yeah, you worry? You think you're gonna do it?
I don't know.
First impression, it feels very smooth.
Yeah, one really great thing that I especially love about this car is that, I mean, you can be a bigger guy, but
right.
You know, you can still fit in it and drive it every day. It's got a great blend between that race car feel and just an early daily driver.
Right. Man, oh, you can just feel it just feels very fast, barely putting the throttle. Feels so smooth around corners. Boy, it's really precise. The turn is incredible. It feels very, very precise. You know, when you think about the California, everybody's like, oh, it's just a, you know, it doesn't handle, it doesn't feel like a real Ferrari. BS. Like, it just turns so quick. It's so sharp.
Yeah. Up here, there's a police station to the left. Okay. I mean, they're
the most underrated part about this car, I think, is the sound. Because one of the things that's so interesting about this car to me is people are like, oh, it's not a real Ferrari because, or it doesn't drive like one, whatever. But like, it sounds like a real Ferrari. I think it drives like a real Ferrari, and now it looks so nice that the California T really changed how it looks. Oh, it's so quick. The transmission is very, very smooth. In addition to being smooth, like on upshifts, like when it's in auto mode and it's clearly we're just cruising, it sort of like just smoothly shifts into higher gear, and then we're like good to go.
If you're just cruising, it's an elegant drive. You know what I mean? And then if you open it up a little bit, it becomes like an animal.
The best part about this car, right? You can have both of those options. So few cars offer that ability. I love the cars that do. I think it's so cool when a car can do multiple things and you can sort of decide, because not everybody can afford to buy a car for each specific purpose in their life, right?
Exactly. You can take this for a day by the beach with the top down in the summer, and then you can bring it to the track the next day and tear it up.
And that's the thing, people I don't think really realize that, because people view this as the lesser, and in some senses it is. It doesn't drive like the 48, obviously, it's not insane, but like, it drives better than whatever. Like, I think this feels quicker in terms of handling. I think it feels quicker and more precise and sharper than a 911. It's so cool. We got the wipers and the steering, the lights, the engine start, the turn signals, the horn, all on the wheel. I never have to remove my hands from the wheel if I drive.
Exactly.
So we're just kind of cruising now. We're behind a couple SUVs. We're in front of a couple SUVs. This is life out here. And it feels so nice. It's just sort of a nice cruiser car. The one thing it doesn't have is backseat room, right? Like, it's a nice cruiser and all that, but like not if you want to bring out your whole family.
No, definitely not.
Oh. He's in a turn. You just feel like you're so confident in where this car's gonna go, and then you also feel like you can just push the gas. You can just do. Oh, it feels so nice. I love the acceleration. It's incredible how fast it is. Oh, it's just so precise on turns. It's insane how precise it is. The Ferrari, there was a lot of controversy with turbocharging, right? Like, whoa, Ferrari's gonna turbocharge. What are we gonna do? Like, it feels great, and yeah, there is no turbo. Like, you really don't feel it at all. I'm sure someone who's really in tune can sort of feel it, but like, maybe on the track.
Everyday people really won't be able to tell.
I love looking at it. Like, Ferraris, my 360, the interior was like show. Gosh, between like the stereo and the controls, there's just a hole that was carpeted. Like, everything now is so much nicer. The quality is better. The technology is so much better. Everything is really well built too. Like, every button, nothing is shaking and rattling as we're driving here. Oh. Wow. That is massively fast. I don't even want to know what speed I just got up to.
Really puts you back in your seat.
It really does. This is the thing. Anybody who knocks this car for not being a real Ferrari has never driven one, because you floor it and you feel that and you understand you are in a truly amazing car. Acceleration is unreal in this car. And I get it. Like, oh, it doesn't look as like aggressive as a 488 or whatever, so how can we'll drive it? So there you have it. If you've ever heard anyone say the California T isn't a real Ferrari or it's a lesser model, they're completely wrong. This car has the driving experience, the performance, the styling, and all the cool equipment required to wear the Ferrari badge. I'm not ashamed to say that I love this car, and it's a true joy to experience firsthand. Is this a Hummer?
Yep. Oh, that's like what, an H1?
Florida plate, of course. You can't have an H1 and not have a Florida plate on it. This is a Ferrari 550 Maranello. Just 4 years ago, you could pick up a pretty decent used one of these for around $90,000. Right now, the average asking price for a Ferrari 550 Maranello coupe like this one on AutoTrader is $167,000. They seemingly shot up overnight, which begs the question, why? To find out, I've borrowed this 550 Maranello from a viewer who lives in New Jersey named Cyrus, who you should follow on Instagram by clicking the link below because, well, he's got a 550 Maranello. And right now I'm going to take you on a tour of it, and I'm going to show you all of its unusual quirks and weird features that only an Italian car can have. And then I'm going to take it out on the street and find out if this thing really drives like a $150,000 car. Of course, for more of my thoughts on it, click the link below to read my column on autotrader.com/oversteer. But before I get to the quirks, a brief overview. The 550 Maranello was sold from 1997 to 2001, and it replaced the Testarossa and 512 TR. It used a 480 horsepower V12 mated to a 6-speed manual transmission, and it did 0 to 60 in the low 4-second range. On paper, it was amazing. In practice, it had a lot of peculiarities.
We'll start the quirks on the outside with one of the 550's most distinctive features, its front overhang. Now, here's my car. It has a normal front overhang. What is this? A few inches? The 550, on the other hand, this overhang is like 2 feet. Needless to say, you don't really want to be taking any speed bumps in one of these. Now, one of the other things you'll notice about the exterior is that this car doesn't really look like a Ferrari. It's not red, it's not crazy low to the ground or wide. The engine's in the front and not in the middle. That's because this car was intended to be more subtle, and this particular one was intended by the original owner to be more subtle still. It doesn't even have the fender shields on the side, which you see in almost every Ferrari. This person wanted their car to blend in.
Now, a lot of people ask what the difference is between the 550 and the car that came after it, the 575, which looks quite similar. Well, there are a few ways you can tell them apart, but the major difference is up front. The 550 looks like it's smiling, and the 575 just looks like it's sort of...
Now, moving on to the trunk, where there's another interesting quirk about this car. Now, there's no exterior keyhole on the trunk of a 550 Maranello, and there's no spot on the key fob where you can open the trunk. In fact, the only way to open the trunk in a 550 Maranello is a little electronic switch located on the center console. So you're thinking, well, what if you leave something or someone in the trunk of a 550 Maranello and they need to get out and the electronic switch doesn't work? Well, obviously Ferrari thought of that. They placed a little cord inside the trunk. All you have to do is pull it. Oh, it opens the fuel door. In other words, if you want to kidnap someone, 550 Maranello. Speaking of the center console switches, let's talk about them for a moment. On the left, you have the ASR switch. That one's obvious. It turns traction control off. Next to that, you have Sport. Why does a Ferrari V12 need a Sport mode? I'm not really sure, but the next one's even more confusing. It's a blank switch. This car cost $250,000 when it was new. Why could it possibly have a blank switch? Moving on, you have the fog lights. Now, the fog light button is interesting because the fog lights are located there. The parking lights are located there. The headlights are located over here on the turn signal stalk, which means that you have 3 different places to look to put on 3 different sets of headlights. But then again, it's a Ferrari. You didn't really expect it to make sense, did you? I'll give you another example. The blank switch in the center, that would have been a great switch for the power locks. But Ferrari decided, nah, we'll leave that one blank. Instead, to activate the power locks, you just lock one of the doors and then the other one locks too. You want them unlocked? Just unlock one of the doors and then the other one locks too. So there's no lock switch in the car. You just kind of turn one of the door locks and the other one follows suit. Another unusual thing about this car, the climate control system. Now, in your car, you probably have a few different switches for the climate control. One that controls hot and cold, one that controls where the air comes out, and one that controls the intensity of the air. And this car has all that too, but it also has one button, if you want to turn off the climate controls, that's marked stop. So you can turn it to 0, but it's still not fully off. Instead, to turn it off, you also have to press stop. I'm not sure why that is, but remember, it's a Ferrari.
Since I'm discussing the interior, time to talk about one of this car's most distinctive features. It's filled with factory carbon fiber. That's common now, but 20 years ago it was really rare, and there's carbon fiber on the door panels, carbon fiber on the door sills, carbon fiber on the parking brake boot. The sport seats are surrounded in carbon fiber, the shift knob is carbon fiber, the entire center console is made of carbon fiber, and even the gauges are surrounded by carbon fiber. It's really cool. Less cool is the rear parcel shelf, which is finished in acres of rather tacky-looking diamond stitching.
Another interesting interior quirk, you get in this car and the first thing you try to do is reach for the seatbelt, except the seatbelt isn't over here. Instead, the sport seats in this car, the seatbelt actually goes through one of the holes in the seat for you to put it on. Just something I'm not sure I've ever seen before. And then we get to the single most annoying quirk of the 550 and all other Ferraris of this era. That would be the immobilizer. Now, if the doors are locked, you go to unlock them with the key fob. You then have to start the car within a certain amount of time or else the immobilizer kicks in, it won't start, and then you have to relock it, re-unlock it, and then you can start it. If the doors are unlocked when you approach the car, you have to relock it, then unlock it, get in and start it within the set amount of time, or the immobilizer kicks in and the car won't start. So it's been a while since I've unlocked the doors. I'm gonna give it a shot. Nothing.
That means I have to relock the car, then re-unlock it to disable the immobilizer. And then, if I'm lucky...
Yes! But of course, there are many reasons why you put up with all of those unusual quirks. One of them is this. But maybe the biggest reason this car is so rapidly rising in value is right here, the manual transmission. This is the last Ferrari V12 that came standard with a manual transmission. And while Ferrari made some stick shift examples of the 550's successor, the 575, they're few and far between. The same thing goes for the very few stick shift 599s that Ferrari made. Generally speaking, if you want a stick shift and a V12, the 550 is the most modern Ferrari that you can have. And in today's world of dual clutch automatics, old automatics feel slow and clunky, and they're expensive to fix. So more buyers are turning to stick shifts, which is causing their values to shoot up. But just how does it feel to get behind the wheel of a V12 powered stick shift Ferrari?
All right, driving the 550. This is very exciting. This is a very cool car. Surprisingly easy at low speeds. It doesn't feel jerky. The Testarossa was kind of lurchy. The Testarossa clearly did not want to be driven at low speeds. Like, this car is a lot more usable in normal everyday driving. All right, getting out on the road. Oh, man, listen to that. Listen to that click in the gear. It feels so good. I love that. There's nothing like shifting gears in a V12 car. Not a lot of people have the opportunity to do that. Easy downshifts, easy rev matching. The pedals are easy to figure out. And the clutch is heavy in this car, but it's not crazy heavy like it is in the Testarossa. And most importantly, it's linear, which is good. You don't want a clutch that has this weird kick thing. That's always really annoying. The pedal box is really small though. I can barely get my foot in. It rides very well. I mean, this is clearly not the mid-engine Ferrari. You know, when the public hears Ferrari, they just think of fast cars that are crazy and whatever. And there's actually different levels of Ferrari, and this one is for someone who's had a bunch of those mid-engine cars, and now they want something that's really fast and cool and all that still, but maybe it's not as high-strung as a mid-engine car. But when they really want to give it some gas, they can still do that and have some fun. Now, with that said, this car is still a blast around corners. One of the things I remember from driving this before is just how amazing it really feels, and boy, does it ever. It's just so flat. It's funny to think this car is 20 years old. Oh, listen to that. Yeah, the downshifts are so easy because the clutch is pretty easy to figure out, and the acceleration is linear, the pedal travel is linear. Gear sound. There's just something great about having the mechanical feel of the stick shift. And I've driven 575s with the F1 transmission, and they are so lurchy and so awkward. It really feels like driving a car with a learner driver who doesn't know how to drive a stick shift quite well enough yet. It is kind of nice to drive the car just normally, because it can do that. Like the 360 always felt very high-strung. It was bumpy, and you were really far forward in the car, and it was just a completely different experience. This thing still feels like a normal car unless you really don't want it to, and then you can just open it up and really cause a ruckus. I love how subtle it is. A lot of people, especially younger people, they want a Ferrari, they want something that really shows off and all that. That's not me. You know, when I had my 360, I just got so tired of the constant people talking to me and coming up to me and saying something to me. Right. It just got so annoying. This thing is for the people who want to have the Ferrari and kind of want that experience to themselves. Because you're only going to know this car if you know cars, and then it's fun to have the conversation with people. In this car, you just totally blend in a lot more, but you still have the same amazing Ferrari experience if you want it. I just love that I'm doing all this and I'm shifting gears. The experience is just so rare. Oh, that sound, that little blip. Oh, there's nothing like that. Oh. It is so flat around the corners and so composed. It feels like a modern exotic car in corners. And then you get on it, you floor it, and it feels like a modern exotic for speed.
550 is cool and subtle in a way that the screaming bright red mid-engine Ferraris just aren't. It has a lot of unusual Italian quirks and features, but most importantly, it offers modern V12 performance with a manual transmission. There are V12 Ferraris that are faster than this one, but they don't have that stick shift that everybody seems to want. And there are manual Ferraris, but they don't perform as well as the 550. Simply put, this car is the only one that marries true, amazing, modern-day V12 performance with the enjoyment of a manual transmission. Of course these things are shooting up in value, and I suspect they're only going to continue to go up from here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ultimate cars of the 1990s. This is a Porsche 911 Turbo, and this is a Ferrari 512 TR. They both come to me from the JM Legend Auto Group in the New York area, where they're both for sale. And today I'm going to find out which is better. Right here I have the Sledgehammer. This is a 1993 Ferrari 512 TR, and it is the showiest, most crazy looking, most extravagant Ferrari of the 1990s.
Offered from 1992 to 1995, the 512 TR was a direct answer to the Lamborghini Countach and Diablo, and the successor to the famous Testarossa. Back in 1993, it started around $195,000, more than $300,000 today. It had 420 horsepower, it did 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, and I mean, just look at it. Those crazy door strakes, those enormous rear fenders, the hilariously wide overall design. This car just means business.
Right here I have the Precision Drill. This is a 1997 Porsche 911 Turbo, and it answers the question of speed a little bit differently than the 512 TR.
It may look like a regular 911 to you, but well, it isn't. And that's the trick of this 911 Turbo from Porsche's beloved 993 era. The regular 911 of this era had about 280 horsepower, rear-wheel drive, and subdued styling. The Turbo turned that up to 400 horsepower and added all-wheel drive, a fixed rear wing, and flared fenders. It could hit 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds, and pricing started at $106,000 with shipping, about $160,000 today.
Back in the 1990s, these were two of the coolest cars you could buy, but that was 20 years ago. What are these things like to drive today? Today, I'm going to show you around both of these cars. I'm going to show you all of their interesting features, and I'm going to do a little bit of a comparing and contrasting of Porsche versus Ferrari. And then I'm going to take them out on the road. I'm going to tell you what they're like to drive, and when I come back, I'm going to tell you which one of these I would rather have. And to find out more of what I think, click the link below to read more of my thoughts on autotrader.com/oversteer.
The moment you climb inside the 911, you realize just how ridiculously functional and amazingly well built it is. Actually, it happens before you even climb inside when you hear that wonderful old 911 door latch sound. And you're still not inside when you discover the door armrest is also a storage pocket. So much function. In back, there are no tricks to hiding the rear wiper. It's just stuck on there so it can wipe the rear window. It's not pretty, but it's functional. The gauges are tremendously simple, and so is the dashboard. No weird tricks or new technology or cool for the sake of being cool. Everything is functional. In the center, there are 6 buttons, all very clearly labeled. The mirror controls are right up by the mirrors, exactly where you'd expect them to be. The parking brake is a parking brake. The steering column stalks are steering column stalks, and the steering wheel is a steering wheel. There are even little headlight washers to clean off the headlights. This car is a model of function over form.
Maybe the only unexpected quirk in this interior is the glove box. There is one, and to open it, you don't push anything or pull a latch, you twist this, and it opens. Folks, when the way you twist open the glove box is the biggest quirk you have, well, then face it, you're not quirky. The 512 TR, on the other hand, we'll start with an obvious one, the door latch. The 911 has a regular old everyday door latch, like every other car. This thing, do you see a door latch here? No, you don't. That's because Ferrari has hidden it inside the 80s style side strakes. You gotta know where the latch is before you can even get in the car. And once the door is open, the side strakes just sit there looking insane, and it looks like the door has a hole in it. What the hell is that? Now, once you get inside the 512TR, things don't instantly get more rational or sensible. Now, I don't want to go too in-depth here because I have a full review and tour of one of these coming up in the next few weeks, but to keep the comparison going with the Porsche, this car is about as different from the Porsche on the inside as it is on the outside. We'll start before you even get in when you notice that the parking brake is inexplicably placed to the left of the driver's seat on the floor. The hood latch and trunk latch aren't labeled. Instead, they just have the Ferrari horse on them. You want to get in the trunk? Ferrari. Inside, the 512TR has power mirrors and power windows. That's great, but it doesn't have a radio. And speaking of the middle of the car, where you'd expect to find the climate controls, you instead get gauges. Oh, and speaking of those middle gauges, you can loudly hear the clock ticking even when the car is off. In the center control stack, the buttons are cryptically labeled and they're all bizarrely different sizes and shapes. I still have no idea what this means, and I definitely don't know what this does. I'm also not sure what this little red thing is or this little white light. Those are secrets lost to Italy.
But the most interesting thing is the climate controls. Push one button and another rises up, like Ferrari's version of a center console whack-a-mole game. Further down, this is the hazard lights, this is the cigarette lighter, and this, of course, is the ashtray. I'm not sure why it's a different color from everything else, but it is. And this, I don't know what this does. Does it open a file folder?
Under the steering wheel, there is virtually no knee room for any human being. I rarely have trouble fitting into cars, but I don't know that I really fit into this one.
The door latch sound isn't exactly as precise as the Porsche's either.
Two other interesting details. The Porsche has a horn, just like a normal car. The Ferrari has... How do you take that seriously? Another interesting thing about the Ferrari, remember how the Porsche had normal headlights and those cool headlight washers that just prove Porsche had thought of everything? Well, Ferrari also has a unique touch with its headlights. That's right, nothing says I'm being sold in the 90s, but I came from the 80s, quite like pop-up headlights.
Simply put, the Porsche is logical, brilliant, and functional. The Ferrari is an odd hodgepodge of Italian strangeness. But now it's time for the most important comparison.
Here it goes. Let's see what it's like. I've driven regular 993s before, but never the turbo. Oh, I love how these turbocharged Porsches feel. And the thing that's great about it is you jam down the throttle, you're not making a crazy amount of noise, you're not attracting a crazy amount of tension, but you're flipping out inside the car. This car feels so stable and so composed and just so engineered. This was the end of the era of 911 that they weren't trying to be a luxury car. They were just trying to engineer the perfect sports car. And this, being the pinnacle model of the 993, the turbo, may be the perfect 993. Brakes are nowhere near as good as they are in a modern 911 turbo. It's almost kind of funny. How is it this fast? In this car, though, I get in, I'm expecting it to be fun and cool and analog. I'm not expecting that level of speed. I drove a new 911 very recently, and driving this, the cabin is so much smaller. You're so much closer to the road, or at least you feel you are. The windshield is closer to you. The passenger, I can reach over and touch the passenger mirror if I want. This car comes from a very different era of 911. The interesting thing to me about it is this is a 20-year-old car. I don't hear rattles or squeaks or shakes when I go over bumps. Everything is like perfectly bolted down still, even after 20 years. Oh, that downshift. Oh, yeah. Woo! I haven't driven a 993 in forever, and I forgot why I love this car so much. You don't have a V8 rumble, you don't have a V12 rumble like that thing's gonna, but you have the power. Oh, this car is so fast. Oh my god. Driving a 993, you just kind of feel like you're going home. Even if you've never driven a 993 before. Just the simple clutch, the easy transmission lever to move, the size of this car, how tossable it feels. I even like that weird exploding turbocharger feeling. Nothing has a learning curve. You settle into this car in about 10 minutes, you feel like you're driving something that you've been been driving for the last 25 years. Like this car. Oh my god. The steering is unbelievably heavy, but that's nothing compared to the clutch. How is this real? Oh, my leg already hurts. I gotta drive this thing now. Oh, I'm serious. This is the heaviest clutch of any car I've ever driven, period. This is wildly, wildly heavy. Oh. How does anybody drive this at low speeds? Oh, we're moving. I don't have to use the clutch. Oh no, I have to change gear. Oh, in this car, instantly I feel like more of a go-kart kind of thing. I feel the road a lot more. I'm lower, I'm wider. I got this huge, expansive windshield. Instantly I feel like, whoa, this is a totally different experience. Oh, man, this thing is fast. I kind of thought I would just be annoyed by this car. This is very fast. Yeah! Amazing! I can't believe these cars in the 90s, you know, I thought driving them they would both feel old and dated and crappy. It doesn't feel like that at all. This thing is seriously, seriously fast. I'm stunned at how much I can actually kind of toss it around. I thought it would feel like an old vintage car and I would have to treat it like it was fragile. This doesn't feel fragile. It feels like, go for it, have fun. Honestly, I think this feels every bit as stable as the 911, which I was absolutely not expecting to say today. Okay, everything I just said about how much I like this car, take it all back, because now I'm stopping in, and oh my god, the clutch! How did they design? Oh god. Oh my god. Between the clutch and the steering, I feel bad for anybody who's ever had to drive one of these at low speed. Oh, the steering! Oh, the clutch! I don't know what hurts more, my arms or my leg. Oh, but now we're moving. Woo! Yeah! Listen to that! Oh, 911 does not have that. Wow! Woo! Drive this car at least 50 times better than I thought it would be. I thought I would be taking extreme caution in a vintage car and I'd be nervous. This thing just feels like a bigger version of a Lotus or an MR2 or something. I can't believe how enjoyable it is. I'm serious. Steering at lower speeds is not fun either. And by lower speeds, I mean 30. This car, more than any I've ever driven, was designed to be going fast. Not only is this not a car for tall people, but this isn't a car for anybody in any proportion. It's just something you have to put up with in order to have this amazing experience. The gear changes are rough. You gotta really pull that lever. You gotta really mash that clutch. But it is a sweet, sweet thing when you're in the right gear in this car. I can't believe how go-karty it feels. This is huge. This car is massive. How does it feel like this? This is great going around these corners. It's hard. I mean, you gotta work. I'm doing work right now. But, like, it's rewarding. It's so much fun. The 911 was 3 million times easier to drive than this car. Maybe 5 million times easier if I'm giving it in technical terms. But this car is rewarding in a completely different way. Instead of being just this precision object of speed, this car, it's giant and it's huge and it's ridiculous and you gotta throw it around. Listen to that!
You'll notice I'm no longer standing next to the cars, and that's because I wanted to go home for a few days and really think about this one. You see, I was expecting to love the Porsche, and I did. They're just so precise, and they're so simple, they're so easy to drive, they're so elegant, and they don't attract all that crazy attention. They're just so well engineered. And the 993 Turbo was all of that stuff. But did you see me driving that Ferrari? It was a blast, it was amazing, it was so awesome. And I wasn't expecting to come away from that car as happy and as excited as I was. Before this comparison test started, I would have said the Porsche by a mile. It's just so much more usable, so much easier to drive. The Ferrari is a car you have to kind of plan ahead to take out. It's annoying, it's loud, it's flashy, you're fighting with the clutch, the steering is so heavy, but that Ferrari, I can't stop thinking about how much I love that Ferrari. In the end, the Porsche will make you smile, but the Ferrari will make you giggle. And as much as it pains me to say this, given how much I love Porsches, in this case, I think I'd rather have the Ferrari.
Come play
Oh, berisik.
Naruto Zoko. Come play Naruto Zoko.
Oh no.
We are playing Naruto Zoko, so
Bodoh
yeah.
amat.
Bye bye. Ayo sini main Naruto ya.
Nggak mau. Nggak mau. Nggak mau. Nggak mau.
Naruto seru men.
Harganya berapa coba?
Waktu itu cuma 80.000 atau 70.000 pas diskon. Iya, hari ini.
Masih diskon, stupid.
Ya udah beli.
Nggak mager. Buat apa?
Dikasih fun.
Mending nunggu yang online.
Ini online weh.
Enggak, yang free roam.
Oh yang free roam. Gua gak suka lo kalau free roam. Naruto lebih.
Yang bisa bikin ninja sendiri.
Not so fun kalau
belum keluar. Ya udah terserah lu.
Masih lama kan.
Gue sih mau beli yang itu.
Dulu aja lah.
Buat apa mending main yang crack?
Ini 1v1 kan bisa sama teman.
Gua ada yang crack. Gua udah ada yang crack, man. Oh my god.
Yang crack gak bisa online, man.
Bodoh amat, gua main sendiri.
No, friend dasar. Salah. Aduh, komnya susah banget.
Nih, aduh. Ini nyalain laptop setahun. Oh my god.
WK cara nangkap gimana sih, Wek? Gue lupa.
Nggak tahu. Cara tahu sendiri.
Oh, gue tahu.
Dani idiot. Telepon Daniel.
Oh, ketangkap. Oh, di Mangikyo Sharingan. Sharingan Family. Shisui Uchiha Dachi sama apa sih gue lupa namanya. Oh my god. So easy ya.